my skin. You're doing damage, and nobody's ever been. Do I gotta chase you every summer? Can I have to replace you every summer? You're the only woman on my mind. You're the only way I spend my time. Tick, 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 boom. Can't get you out of the room of my head. Take two, is it too soon to get you into my... I want you now. I need you off the ground. I want not loud. I want you right now. I can't help it right now.
You're the only one that makes me wait all the time. Oh yeah, you blow my mind. Boom, boom, and blow my mind. You're the only one that gets under my skin. You're doing damage. Nobody's ever been. Do I gotta face you with another? I'll never replace you with another. You're the only man that's on my mind. You know that nobody right. Tick, 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 boom. This ain't a honeymoon. We all night instead. Sleep until noon. I still assume that you'll be in my... I want it here. Don't make me wait all year. Already facing my fears. Come closer to my ears. I gotta hear it more clear. You're the only one that makes me wait all the time. Oh yeah, you blow my mind. Boom, boom, and blow my mind. You're the only one that gets under my skin. You're doing damage. Nobody's ever been. You're the only one that makes me wait all the time. Oh yeah, you blow my mind. Boom, boom, and blow my mind.
It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Shaq's here. Kenny's here. Welcome to this edition of 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Houston Rockets. Taking a look at the Rockets, they're still right there in the thick of the race for the conference's top playoff seeds at just 4 games out of first place. With certain players, it's like having a coach on the floor. We're talking Chris Paul. Shaq, what's it like playing with a point guard that smart?
Well, Paul knows exactly what needs to happen in every situation. He remembers patterns and tendencies of players and of opposing teams. Very smart point guard.
Yeah, you can't let your team lose focus, and he does a good job of that. The team plays with a purpose when he's on that floor.
Now let's send it down to Kevin Harlan as tip-off approaches.
Two teams, two conferences. It's a road game for the Rockets, and Houston is looking to play Texas big. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA and all its great action on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Take a look at the Hawks. Right now, they're way down in the standings, just 12th place in the conference.
It's always fun at home, Kev. I mean, home sweet home is what I like to call it. But you know what? They've got a tough visitor in the house tonight. And just because they are at home doesn't mean a win is going to be automatic. They've got their work cut out for them against this opponent.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Well, guys, we know when you talk about dedication, Chris Paul is among the greatest. Now, he says, I have a scary passion for basketball. I study it, I watch it all day, every day. I'm not the most athletic guy, so I have to use my mind and my knowledge of the game. Kevin, he is a professor out on the floor.
Tremendously competitive with great attention to detail, David. Thanks. We know about the rookie wall, but Clark, for some, things really don't click until later in the season.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kevin. And again, a lot of factors go into that. How much are you playing? What kind of work are you doing? What's your role on the team? What's your opportunity within your team? All of those things can impact how you fare during the course of the season. And sometimes it's a matter of matchups for individual players, but all part of the fabric of the unpredictable nature of being a pro player.
So the Rockets win the tip. Here's the starting group for Houston. Paul and Harden are the incredible backcourt duo. E.J. Tucker is out there with Gordon, and it's Capella in at the center position.
Now, you can't sleep on this guy's finishing ability. He loves getting room to throw it down on you, and he'll put you in a poster if you let him.
Hawks passing it around. The kick out to Young. To the inside. It's hauled in by Gordon. And it's Paul penetrating, and some very quick points for him on that possession. Paul's got his first points of the night.
Tell you what, that mid-range game from Chris Paul, he's really an assassin from there. You can see less and less of that shot in this day and age, but CP's got the green light to shoot it.
13 feet away. Shot by Collins, no good. Now here's Harden. Tight defense on him. Makes it off the glass. Harden's got his second basket of the game.
And, you know, the thing about Harden, crafty in the paint, he really finds angles and avenues to get the shots he wants when you don't think there's any angle or avenue to find.
That's the third straight miss to start this game, and they're still looking for their first basket.
And it's Capella missing. Hawks have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. All sorts of time. It's rebounded by Houston. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And I love the fact that they did such a good job of really reacting to what the defense was giving them.
Nothing was forced. Smart basketball was played, and they took advantage of any weakness they saw.
Here's Young after Clint Capella's bucket. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Houston.
Well, I like the fact they've already been getting a lot of high-quality shots in the paint.
Also, guys, the passing has been terrific in the first half. They'll be happy with all those assists.
That free throw good from Harden. Well, Greg, for Atlanta, it was out with the old and in with the new for the point guard position for the Hawks.
And Hawks were able to trade down and still get the guy they wanted in Young. See him as an impact guard to build around for the future. Had to move Schroeder to free up space for Young, but this team now has a clear core to build around. And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of blanks there. Can't hit a thing. Has to be deflating.
We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter.
And boy, did they need that one. Their first make in the 5 field goal attempts they've had.
Rockets on offense. They're on an 11-3 run right now. Paul buries it down low. Paul's got his second bucket of the night.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And to battle back, they've got to shore up the defense. I mean, there's no other way to come back from a deficit unless you play good defense.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Happy to see that one go in for his second make in 5 attempts.
You just can't leave anyone open around Young. He's very capable of spotting his uncovered teammates.
2 points. That one goes. 6 points for Chris Paul.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Young outside. And the Hawks getting another basket right there. Rockets leading by 8. And it's Paul penetrating. Rejected by Young.
And you can tell he wants to improve on the defensive end. Young, great to see him come up with the rejection.
To the paint. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Boy, it's a thing of beauty watching him attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that layup. And at 4-5 now, a nice start. I mean, he looks ready to make an impact offensively. So far, so good.
Len with it and guarded by Capella.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
And it's Gordon penetrating, and he gets it to go. Gordon's got his first basket of the night.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Kicks it out to Prince. Off target from outside. Gordon against Prince, and Gordon gets it to go in on the assist from Tucker. Tucker's got 3 assists now in this one. And so Young will bring it up for Atlanta. A 12-point game. They just couldn't come out on top last time they took on the Rockets. That one was played down in Houston.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
Yeah, sloppy play sabotage. I mean, they'll have to be much more focused this time around.
Here's Harden. He makes another one. That's 4 up and 4 in to start his game.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
Now here's Harden. 20 points for him last game against Minnesota.
And even if you took away his points, he was still an offensive force because of his passing. His assist numbers were tremendous.
Atlanta calls timeout.
Boy, and Clint Capella, C-squared, a late first-round pick in 2014, viewed by most as a project, but the analytics community ranked him highly. No surprise then that the Rockets snapped him up and they got a steal. They love the analytics approach in Houston.
No, we not them. I got a light skin and the Asian.
You're the only one that makes me wait all the time. Oh yeah, you blow my mind. Boom, boom, and blow my mind. You're the only one that gets under my skin. Love to endemic. Nobody's ever clean. Do I gotta fix you with another? I'll never replace you with another. You're the only menace in my mind. You know that nobody likes.
As we close in on the start of the playoffs, let's see how the West is stacking up. Taking a look at Denver. Very strong season they've had, always at or near the top of the conference, and right now they're in first place in contention for that, exactly where they want to be as they close in on the postseason. Of course, there's the Rockets, a couple spots below.
And I think for the Rockets, as talented a team as they are, has performed at a very high level this season. Everything's gone according to plan up to this point.
And they're not a team that other teams look forward to facing. They're only going to get scarier the deeper into the season we get.
And Tucker kicks to Paul. And it's Houston with another.
Defense has no answer for him. I mean, none. They look completely lost. He's been on fire.
The Hawks trail by 16. Here's Young. The rejection by Paul.
CP3 using every inch of that smallish frame to get a hand on it and send the shot back. How about that? The little fella showing us he can block shots, too.
Here's Young. James Harden picking up that last basket. Yep, it counts. 7 points in the game.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 3 assists tonight.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
Yeah, and they've come out strong. I mean, clearly they've been the better team so far.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track. Yeah, pounding it inside once again. They have taken over this game physically.
Schooling them right now. Taking them to the woodshed. Super aggressive and owning the paint.
Now, here is Young. 20 points for him last game against Orlando.
Yeah, passed the ball well that last time out. Pinpoint passes and racked up a bunch of assists.
Gordon goes in, and then Gordon with the dunk.
And already with the commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Yeah, and the execution, time and time again, right on point. They're running their offense to perfection.
The Hawks trail by 19. Herter guarded by Harden. Knocked loose and out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
Rockets ball.
And now let's take a look at the 2K leaderboard as we've gotten into the second half of the season. These teams have become better and better at scoring points off turnovers. In second, the Rockets.
And since the break, we've seen them ambush their opponents with that attacking brand of defense. And boy, have they reaped the rewards offensively.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
You know, you look at most winning teams in this league, and there's no denying they have an identity, who they are and how they play consistently. The Rockets fall into that category, a defined style of play and pieces that fit pretty well.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. And Clark, talk about the Rockets' identity, their style of play.
Yeah, it's all about the analytics, quite honestly. They're looking for drives and three-point field goals. Constant pressure on the defense. The long-range ball spaces the floor, and defensively they're going to try to switch and keep the ball in front and deny the same three-pointers they're looking for at their offensive end from the opposition.
Harden hits them both.
You know, it's nearly impossible trying to defend Harden. I mean, he has it all in his package. One of the best penetrators in the game. He's a great passer, and we know what he can do scoring the ball.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hand.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
Does it as well as anybody, fellas. Tremendous skill while in the air.
And a terrific percentage here in the first half. You got to love their rhythm and the flow with which they're playing.
I agree with you. I mean, they just look comfortable out there, taking what the defense gives them and then capitalizing with no real problem at all.
A nice shot by Tucker.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Now Harden. Carter's missing on the 3. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Fareed. And that's now 21 points for James Harden. Adams finds Bazemore. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. Rockets leading by 23. Here's Rivers, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And there's the foul. This goes against Atlanta. And Austin Rivers out of Duke, an elusive 6'4" combo guard.
I mean, a great handle, and he's found most of his offensive success with his development as a long-range shooter. It's gotten to the point now where you want him to put it on the deck.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. In the NBA, Clark, great offense sometimes overcomes great defense. The fadeaway jumper, an example of one of the more unstoppable shots players make.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you think of guys like Dirk Nowitzki, LeBron James. Dirk's was so unorthodox, and at his size, just impossible to get to his shot when he stepped away from you. And LeBron has mastered it with his athleticism and strength. I mean, he'll fade away and fade 8-10 feet away from you and still get that shot off. So those two guys, I mean, if you're talking about major fadeaways currently in the last decade, I don't think you can find anybody that would top them.
Atlanta shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one.
And it's been an average year, really, at the free throw line for this group, only around 75%.
You know, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball in so many of their games because they just have not been able to knock down those foul shots.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
First free throw is good. He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
You take a look at the Rockets' offense, and they've become lean and mean. Very few mid-range shots, no long twos. It's all threes and points in the paint. They keep their menu tight, and it works for them.
The pass to Bembry from outside the arc. The shot, no good. And Houston the other way now. Oh, and here we go. Green's got it. The fast break chance.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Fantastic speed on the break. Speed kills, showing no mercy in transition there, partner.
You talked about the Rockets' focus offensively. It's all on Harden and Chris Paul.
Yeah, they're the main shot creators for that offense. Everybody else better be happy spotting up, setting picks and rolling, and scoring in transition. The Beard and CP are going to have the ball in their hands most of the time.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
Yeah, continue to pour it on them. That's what they want to do right now, doing their best to put this game out of reach and in the win column.
Bembry shot good.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
They double him with Green. Inside. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Here's Tucker. That's in, and he's now 3 for 3 and looking sharp.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
The Hawks shooting 44% overall here in the first quarter. Passes it to Shumpert. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here.
Rockets ball.
A post-All-Star break look now at how the breakdown between three-pointers and other shots have been for the Rockets.
And clearly they haven't been shy about launching it from long range. That's the way the league has been going, and they are certainly embracing that trend.
Carter dishes to Adams. Down low. Bembry kicks to Dedmon. They double him with Shumpert. Tipped away. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Fareed.
And here are the numbers for Dedmon. He showed up every night and some noteworthy performances over the last month. Putting up about 10 points a night, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. And his rebounding is what's most impressive. He's shown tremendous determination on the backboard.
And it's a big asset for this team. I mean, he blocks out on the defensive glass, and then he keeps balls alive at the offensive end.
Now here's Bazemore. He has 5. Here's Bembry.
In building this lead, they've done a terrific job finishing their defensive sequences with the backboard. That has been key.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. Not one second chance bucket for the opposition. They're boxing out on every shot.
.106 left to play here in the first. They double him with Shumpert. Adams against Rivers. Adams, the pass to Bazemore. Dedmon with it. 6 to shoot. To the paint. Here's Bembry. Drops in the layup for 2. Bembry's got 6.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
It's deflected.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
Now here is Carter. 8 points his last outing. Now here's Tucker, defended by Carter. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. And as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball here. There's 14 seconds left here in the opening quarter. It's hauled in by Adams. And there's the call on Austin Rivers. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul.
And here's Bazemore with 4 seconds on the clock, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And it's going to go on Iman Shumpert. For Atlanta, they have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
Kent Bazemore. 2 shots.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And he makes the first. That one misses. It'll count. Rivers. And so it's the Houston Rockets, having no problems at all. Up 29 points heading into the next quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. There's a great friendship between Melo, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Paul. And Chris talked about where all that started.
It's been a sort of long relationship, you know, and obviously me, Bron, Melo, D. Wade have all really got really close. And that stems from the time with the Olympics, USA teams, and then just sharing a lot of the same likes and values and having kids and family and different things like that.
And you see that a lot nowadays. Star players developing friendships and GAs spending time with each other off the floor.
Yeah, some people hate it because they want that bad blood you used to see, but no reason you have to hate someone to really compete against them.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And quite a position here for the Rockets to be in. What do you think, guys?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Yeah, outworking them right now, plain and simple. I mean, they've been terrific in the open floor.
Carter is out there with Bember. Then it's Dwayne Dedmon. Then there's Kent Bazemore. And it's Adams in at point guard. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. In the corner, Bazemore with it. Bangs home the trifecta. Bazemore's got 9.
And turning down what would have been a tough shot for himself into an easy one for his teammate.
And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. And the Rockets making a change here. Capella's checked in. Here's Green. And he drops it in from the low post. He's got 9.
And, you know, it's obvious he's a talented scorer. I mean, that's a given. A guy you can depend on to get it done in a lot of ways.
Now, here's Bazemore. Dedmon kicks it to Bazemore. And Carter has it in the corner. They get the rebound. Good on the bucket.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
Yeah, it's finishing your defense, Greg. We know that. You can defend, then you got to rebound the miss, and you got to get to the glass with intensity.
And so Bazemore will bring it up for the Atlanta Hawks. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Fareed, no good.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often. And Dwayne Dedmon, a player who started his NBA career late, was a rookie at age 24 and then floated around to several teams. But he has gone from being an end-of-the-bench guy to an important rotation player in just the last few seasons.
Man, the mobility this guy has at his size, boy, Fareed has a good feel for when to get inside on the drive.
Adams, the pass to Bembry. Rivers against Adams. Back to Carter for the 3. Good on the 3-point shot.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
For Houston, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Here's Green. A second chance effort, and Shumpert finishes inside. Shumpert's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
Atlanta calls timeout. Clark, you once worked for the Indiana Pacers, Vice President, Player Relations, and really had your fingerprints on a lot of part of that organization. Could you see yourself going back to an NBA front office role?
I don't anticipate that. I love what I do as a broadcaster. I really feel as though I'm right where God wants me to be currently. Had a wonderful tenure with the Pacers, 32 years between playing, broadcasting both radio and television, then 4 years in the VP of Player Relations role. Phenomenal relationships with a number of people, but no, I think that chapter for me is in the rearview mirror.
I speak for everyone playing the game, watching the game. We're glad you're in broadcasting, I'll tell you that.
Thank you, partner.
And it's a completely new group for Atlanta. The Rockets also changing it up. Eric Gordon, he's checked in for Green. James Harden comes in for Shumpert. And Paul subbed in for Rivers. Now, here's Collins. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Magic in Orlando.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
The Hawks shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
2 shots.
And the first one drops. Both free throws good from Len. For Houston, they've gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. Here's Gordon. And again, the Rockets good for 2.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Simply taking advantage of what the defense has given them, and they've really made the most of it.
Now here's Prince. 9-point game his last outing. To the paint. Tries it from 9. That misses off the backboard.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
And Chris Paul still looking for his first title. This Rockets team represents his best shot, Clark, but last year they couldn't quite get it done.
Well, the big reason for that, Kevin, was the fact that Chris Paul was unable to play in Game 6 and 7 against Golden State. He was so instrumental in key moments throughout that series. Had they had him in Game 6 and 7, I think they very well could have been playing for a championship last year.
And the first one at the line is good.
And, you know, it seems like Paul is ageless. I mean, still sharp, still quick and fast, and one of the most active players on the floor at all times.
He hits both from the stripe.
You know, it's funny, guys. I'm still not sure that Chris Paul gets enough credit for just how special he is as a player. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, very few players in league history have been able to impact the game at both ends of the floor at his elite level.
Such a creative ball handler. Young has an ability to carve out room for himself with his dribble.
Good on the shot.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Yeah, and you can tell they feel like they can get inside whenever they want to. I mean, it's been carte blanche, full menu for them, and the defense really not offering any resistance.
The Rockets have gone 7 of 11 from the field in the second quarter. And you look at Chris Paul's numbers, they stack up to any point guard that's ever played the game. Clark, what do you think is the most underrated part of Chris Paul's game?
Well, I would think it would be his defense and his perimeter shooting. I don't think he gets the credit for being the perimeter shooter he is, but defense would stand out to me.
Here's Harden. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got his 5th assist in this one. Now, here is Young. He's got 8. Herter. It's rebounded by Houston. Gordon's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Harden. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Harden's got 25 points.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Young dishes to Prince. And the 3 ball is good.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
It's Harden with the drive, and there's the call on John Collins. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Harden. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. He's got 27.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Well, the defensive rotations, Greg, have been a step slow, and it's really helped them get that ball inside time after time.
Here's Collins, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It goes on Kenneth Faried.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you could hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
The Hawks have shot 67% from the line tonight, going 4-6. He's off on the first. And when you watch Collins play, Greg, you just can't help but notice how athletic he is going to the rim.
Man, his hang time and ability to throw it down make him an ideal finisher inside. Very efficient because he's not only a strong finisher but also enjoys attacking the rim and does a great job, I think, of picking up misses, just being a pest for the defense.
Mark, it always seems the coaches get fired a lot, and there's kind of the rotating names there. But the GMs who hire them stay in place. What's your take on that?
Yeah, you know, it's fairly complex, Kevin. I don't know if we have enough time to delve in it effectively here, but my initial feeling is every circumstance is a little different, and sometimes it's a little easier to move the coach than the general manager for whatever reason. But there should be more accountability for GMs, not just for who they draft, but also who they hire as coaches. So I'm mixed, but I kind of understand why sometimes the coach is a little more readily expendable.
Here's Young. James Harden picking up that last basket. Prince wide open. Off target with his 3. And so Faried will bring it up for Houston. And following this game, they'll challenge the Grizzlies on the road at the FedEx Forum in Memphis. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Pass to Young. Here's Faried. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Got that bucket in no time at all. 31 points for James Harden.
He's so good at making the defense feel and look helpless. Even when they're right on him, Harden finds a way to make defenders look silly at times. Obviously, I mean, it would go a long way if he's making his shots. Right now, they're behind, and they certainly could use his help.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
If you can't stop it, here it comes. I'm right at you.
Now here's Prince. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game.
Good ball movement, wonderful pass. Couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Here's Harden, and the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
This will be his fourth shot at the line in this one. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Fareed.
One shot, gentlemen.
Free throw drops for Harden.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
One way to protect the lead, knock down those free throws, and 100% free throwing for the quarter, that's superb.
Rockets on offense. They're on a 17-6 run. Off target from outside. Atlanta's gotten fond of that three-point shot here in the second quarter. 4 of 9. Pass to Young. Inside. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. 18 points for him.
Boy, good job firing the pass inside there. I mean, all his teammate had to do was catch and finish.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
And I'll tell you, Trae Young, go big or go home. Always gives you 100%, as competitive as they come. And the young fella wants to win so badly, sometimes that emotion really comes out.
Chosen. Hey, don't know where I'm going, but I'm going. Hey, feel ball, kick a ride, touch a point, I'm a going touchdown. Shaka laka, ooh, eyes on me, I see you watching. Ooh, we do what we want to. Ooh, if it's floor, we come through. Ooh, we on it. Ooh, yeah, we on it. Ooh, yeah. Touchdown on the PJ. Last night was a Burma replay. I done ready like Jesus. Piece of sheep. You know I can't fight the demons. Shaka like a, she run her hair through my lines, but she wanna rise now. I love it when you call me Papa.
And look now at the various locations of the shots taken so far for Harden.
Well, this is what you wanted to see from him. I mean, he's not settling for anything and is going right at the defender, taking the ball to the rim whenever he can. And the attitude he's had on offense is keeping his team flying around, as his energy is contagious out there right now.
And you know, Greg, it's amazing the impact Young makes, especially, of course, on the offensive end.
High-level shot maker, a threat the moment he crosses half court. Instinctive playmaker, just needs to play more within himself and avoid over-dribbling.
And there's a whistle that's going to go on James Harden. That is his first foul of the game. Young against Paul. It's stolen by Capella.
That was clearly a forced pass. There was no room for him to make it.
And Harden with the stuff.
Ferociousness from Harden, looking like he wants to tear the rim off.
Young with the ball. He's got 8, and the foul on Harden. That's foul number 2 for him.
And, you know, that's a second foul early in this quarter. I think he's got to be much more cautious in how he defends now.
To the middle, it's stolen by Capella.
Defense is all about anticipation, and he had perfect anticipation on that pass and comes away with the steal.
Atlanta shooting at an even 50% from the floor here in the second quarter. To the middle, here's Len, and the dunk by Len.
And watch out, you don't bring the whole basket down on top of you, young fella.
I don't think he ever wanted to let go of the rim.
Well, you got to make that moment last. Enjoy it for as long as you can. And, you know, he's been their go-to guy. Smart at knowing what shots to take, when to take them. Plays with really a perfect pace.
That's his 5th three-pointer of the half. Filling it up.
The Atlanta Hawks come into this one following a loss to Orlando. Harden and the jam by Harden.
Boy, it's amazing to me how easy Harden makes it look. I mean, when he's locked in, he feels like there's nobody that can guard him, and he's right most of the time.
To the inside, and that's Prince, that time on the assist by Young. Young's got assist number 7 for him tonight. Houston's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Got that one up quick. Harden's got 45 points.
Yeah, he's building off that strong first quarter, Kevin. Rising up and hitting shots with confidence.
No one covering.
Got to be happy with the result, moving the ball so well on that possession. Beautiful.
The Rockets shooting the lights out in this one, 77%. Hall. Count it, and he's now 8 of 9 from the floor.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
1:37 left in the first half. And so here is Houston. Here's Gordon. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And Eric Gordon, Clark, such a terrific tag team partner for Paul and Harden on the perimeter.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, he provides spacing with the deep range he has. Very efficient shot, not much wasted motion. He can attack closeouts off the dribble, and he gets to that basket and finishes aggressively. His strength very much at work when he does his damage.
2 shots.
That free throw, no good.
And, you know, when Gordon is healthy, he's extremely effective. I mean, he's a high-motor player who strokes it well from deep, actually strokes it well from everywhere.
And the Hawks with a completely new group on the floor. Austin Rivers, he's checked in for the Rockets. Good on the second free throw. 1:27 left to play here in the half. And Capella sends it back.
Over a 7'4" wingspan for Clint Capella. That's long, folks, and makes him an intimidating shot blocker.
Harden's shot is off. Hawks shooting 48% from the field. Not bad at all. And there's the feed to Dedmon. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. He gets that one. Harden's got 47 points.
And he has just been in a flow offensively. Terrific game. He has been the X factor.
Here's Bazemore, and the slam dunk by Bazemore.
Always enjoy solid, good passing. Easily setting up his teammate. Does not get any easier than that.
Out of bounds. It'll go to the Hawks. Green, he's checked in for the Rockets. Iman Shumpert has come in for James Harden.
Gerald Green.
So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
Here's Rivers. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Rivers has got 5 points in the quarter.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Here's Adams. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Here's Green. Lays it up and banks it in. Green's got 11 points.
Well, this is what he likes to do. Try to break your spirit.
I think he's trying to put this one away, quite honestly. I mean, feels like he can lay it up against any type of defense, and he can't.
And Adams kicks to Carter. Shoots over Tucker. Again, the Hawks good for 2.
And
how about the terrific use of the crossover there to just throw the defender off balance?
A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Rockets ahead, running away with this one. And we'll return shortly.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports, the halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Boy, we have a lot to discuss. James Harden was the man in the first. He went on an historic scoring frenzy, tallying a ridiculous number of points and 1 rebound. Kenny, what'd you think about the Rockets?
Well, Harden showing off. Complete offensive package, crazy range, and knows how to score off contact and draw fouls. And now he gets to the line all the time, and that's a tremendous burden for the defense.
And over to the big fella, your thoughts on the Hawks?
They relied way too heavily on the three-point shot in the first half. Their long-range game was off. That's my off sound, Ernie. They were off. But they still settle for the outside shots. They got to put more pressure on the defense by pounding it inside and attacking the basket.
And that's going to do it for our halftime show, sadly. Third quarter about to start. See you again after the final.
Horn. Oh, buzzer.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. A fantastic game from Harden in this one.
And I loved in that first half that they were patient, looked for good shots, and knocked them down.
Yeah, I liked how they took the initiative. They were really locked into what they wanted, not letting the defense dictate their shot selection.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. And on the floor for Mike D'Antoni starting the second half. The engine of this team, Paul and Harden in the backcourt. P.J. Tucker is out there with Clint Capella, and it's Gordon in at the threesome. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And you got to know Harden's looking to get to the line. I mean, one of the best in the game at going right into the defender and drawing fouls.
So far, he's hit all of his shots at the foul line, going 4 for 4.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
That one is off. And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Houston on D. Young passes to Collins. Hawks passing it around. Prince against Gordon. Drills the three-pointer.
And how about the consistency from range tonight? Really impressive.
Yeah, you know what? The defense can't keep giving him these looks. I mean, he looks really comfortable shooting from these spots on the floor.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, just a real lack of aggressiveness there right now. I mean, can't give up these types of layups to begin the quarter, Greg. I mean, that's a no-no.
You know, the rest of the D can be stretched a little thin when the double team's in place like that.
Here's Harden. And the rejection by Collins.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Harden. And good. He hits it again. That gives him 51.
Making it look easy.
And here's Young. He'll bring it up for the Hawks. Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Can't hit from 12. Rockets have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Here's Paul. Atlanta with the rebound.
The defense has to be better. I mean, they were fortunate that he missed that mid-range jumper. It certainly wasn't because of the defense.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he's frustrated, Greg, because nothing is falling right now. But he's going to keep chipping away at it, and that's the attitude. Stay with it. Boy, he's making it look really easy right now. I expect them to continue to run the offense through him until the defense makes them change plans.
And he's really made the most of his opportunities today. I mean, he needs to keep working for those kinds of looks.
Hits the three-point bomb.
Just a threat to score off the dribble. Young is crafty at assessing the defense and exploiting them.
Yes, that goes in. And it's now 22 points for Chris Paul.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Off they go on a 3-on-1 break. That one goes in. Harden's got 53.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
Down low. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Rockets have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. That one drops for him. 24 points for Chris Paul.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
And Clint Capella is going to pick up a foul. That is his first foul of the game.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Houston making a switch here. Fareed is checked in. Collins kicks to Prince. And Paul over to help. There's the pass to Young.
And doesn't he just have a nose, a knack for the basketball? He is by far their best rebounder.
Well, he has been today, no doubt about that. His effort's been unbelievable.
And everything they're attempting is going in. Tremendous run here in the third.
And a much-needed run, too, Greg. I mean, they've turned it up a notch, really taking over now.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Harden with the stuff.
And that pattern continues, guys. Another heat check, another log on the fire.
Well, they're scorching right now. I mean, the defense has to be concerned. Nothing they're doing is stopping this run.
Atlanta with the ball. The Rockets making the shot.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Taurean Prince. You'd better keep your hands up if you've been playing with these guys over the past month, because if you're open, they'll find you. Third is Chris Paul. And, of course, Trae Young.
if you look at the work of these two players over that period, you might have to say we're looking at the two best passers in the NBA.
Here's Harden. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
Well, I like the understated focus that Harden brings to the table. Despite getting knocked around, his concentration allows him to play through the bumps.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Houston.
They've knocked down plenty of mid-range jumpers in this one. That's been big for them.
Yeah, but also they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
Atlanta's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them.
Is it me, or does it just feel like he gets every rebound that comes up?
Well, he practically has gotten every one that's available. A 20-plus rebounding game is not something we get to see very often, Greg.
For the game, shooting 5 of 7 at the line.
One shot, find the lanes.
Hawks have gone 6 of 14 since halftime. A little cold from the field. To the paint. Herder lays it up off the glass. He's got 36.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
And for Trae Young, it's a little unfair that he's already being compared to Steph Curry.
Scouts are always going to look for comparisons. And I'm not saying Young is Curry, but many of the strengths and weaknesses are similar. The size and athleticism, the insane range, and both have that it factor.
Now here's Harden. What an incredible scoring display he has put on tonight. Yes, that goes in.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
Knocks it loose, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul. And we'll get a look here at where the shots have been coming from for him.
And this is the kind of performance that everyone talks about seeing in person. The way he's attacked the defense with no hesitation. The tough shots he's taken and made, just a masterpiece. When he gets it going, he can put up some big numbers.
Now here's Bazemore. He's got 13. Just 5 on the clock. Young in the corner. Buries it from three-point range.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Well, you know, the D just hasn't been there for real. I mean, these shooters are getting any perimeter shot they want. It's a bunch of warm-up jump shots out there.
Here's Young following the basket by Chris Paul. And the shot goes in. 16 points for Trae Young.
And that's just something that Young excels at. Boy, a joy to watch this guy shoot the ball. And since they've come out of halftime, they've been extremely poised and very efficient.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, certainly a step up from the first half. They're more engaged, more focused here in this second half, and they're getting good results.
The shot's good from Paul.
Never surprising to see Chris Paul start the break now. But as we see right there, he's just as good at finishing it.
Got a piece of it. And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here.
Taking a look here at some numbers for Trae Young. The last 10 or so games, he has been remarkable. Putting up about 24 points per, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. And he brings that offensive firepower to the team. Scoring just comes naturally.
And, you know, defenses are throwing everything at him, yet he's still able to put up points. He's really unstoppable.
Green, he's checked in for Houston.
Kevin, let's look at where the Hawks stand in the NBA rankings right now.
And looking again at those second chance points, they might not be the best in that area, but it is still, I think, to their advantage in terms of the outcome of some games. Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket?
Paul with the buckets.
You cannot underestimate Chris Paul's ability to finish through contact just because he's small. I mean, he's as tough as they come.
Atlanta's gotten the three-pointer to fall to the tune of 50% here in the third quarter. They've made 3 of 6. Adams against Green. Here's Bembry. The three-pointer, no good.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
Here's what the Houston Rockets schedule looks like. On Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Mike Conley and the Memphis Grizzlies. And then on Friday, they'll be playing against LaMarcus Aldridge and the San Antonio Spurs.
In that matchup against the Bucks, this is what the fans have been wanting to see. 2 of the best teams in the league duking it out, and you know whoever gets the win is going to be viewed as the team to beat.
The first free throw is good. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line.
And missing opportunities here to extend that lead at the free throw line this half.
There's Green with the 3. Atlanta with the rebound. Dedmon's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Now Bazemore. 13 points in the game. Offensive rebound. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
That's his second personal foul.
For Atlanta, they have made 5 of 8 of their free throw attempts.
Dwayne Dedmon. 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. He hits both from the stripe. And for Houston, they're shooting an almost unfair 78% from the field. Wasted no time on that one. Paul's got 18 points just in the second half.
I think the three-point shot is one of Paul's deadliest weapons. You got to chase him off the line.
Scooped up. Adams' shot is good.
Really active down there, imposing his will and force and seeing his efforts pay off.
Here's Paul. And the Rockets getting another bucket right there.
You know, it's amazing to me how Chris Paul does not sacrifice any accuracy when he shoots it off the dribble. He's a catch-and-shoot guy with some reliability, and off the dribble just as good. Hey, I tell you what, the contest on that shot was lacking. Very subpar, which is why the shooter buried it.
And the basket is good. Paul's got 40 points.
Well, there you go. I mean, if they're going to keep giving up open jumpers, they're going to keep getting burned.
Adams' shot is off. Houston's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Fareed goes in, comes up empty down low. Atlanta's gone downtown a lot since halftime. They've missed 5 of their 9 attempts out there. Adams against Paul. Here's Dedmon, and Dedmon throws it down.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Banked in off the glass. 42 points for Chris Paul.
Nice aggressive move by Paul. You know, for a little guy, he knows exactly how to finish inside. Very good at making it happen against bigger players.
Now here's Bazemore. He's got 13. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
Rockets ball.
Let's get some information from the 2K leaderboard. In about the last 10 games in the NBA, during that span, these teams have the most second chance points in the league. In the third spot, the Hawks.
really something to see. Their effort on the offensive glass has just led to so many second chance opportunities.
Fareed, solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Fareed's got 6.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half, sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Dedmon kicks to Adams, passes it to Bazemore. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And Dedmon throws it down.
Boy, good job firing the pass inside there. I mean, all his teammate had to do was catch and finish.
And how about the excellent court vision, just keeping the defense off balance?
Yeah, that was a sweet pass right there, setting up his teammate nicely, and that's really how you move the rock. Share that sugar, man. Share it.
And Dedmon throws it down.
Ooh, rising and punching it on the young fella. You know he loves having that much of a height advantage. Best chance to get yourself on the highlight reel.
And Paul gets it to go in.
Paul's been on attack all night, and he's capable of taking over games with his scoring. We know about his passing, but he can get it done with his scoring, too.
Hits it from three-point range.
Yeah, those shots are taken totally in rhythm, high percentage quality shots, and really getting whatever he wants.
Dedmon with the block. Bembry kicks to Adams. Chris Paul grabs the miss. And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for the Houston Rockets. Bank shot, no good. Bazemore passes to Dedmon. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
And so far going for more of an inside presence here in the second half, getting away from the three-point shot.
The shot by Paul, no good. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. To the middle, here's Adams. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Houston making some changes. Clint Capella comes in for Kenneth Fareed. And it's Amon Shumpert in for Paul.
One shot.
Free throw good, Adams. Houston's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Here's Tucker. Count that one as his 7th make in 8 attempts. A scorching 88%.
The dribble drive once one of Tucker's weaknesses. Now he's refined it and added it to his arsenal.
Plenty of space. And Shumpert pulls it down. Here's Rivers. Missed inside.
Great look, but he couldn't finish. Everything but is how we say that. Surprising since the defense was very pedestrian.
James Harden getting it done for the Houston Rockets. Offensively, this has been his best game of the season. This is the most points he's scored all year. Back right after this. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Yeah, platinum level dime dropping there, fellas. Accurate and on time.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Davis is out there with Dwayne Dedmon. Then there's Anderson. Then it's Johnson. And it's Adams in at the 1 spot. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. Hawks shooting at 51%. Really solid. Trying to find Davis. He's got it now. And it's Davis with the jam.
He just bangs down the one-hander.
2 very easy points right here.
He'll take those all day long.
Now that's where you like your shots to come from.
From outside the arc, it doesn't go for him. So Houston will take it the other way. Here's Clark, and Houston again with the bucket.
Yeah, quick trigger. And from that range, if he senses the defenders have backed off, forget about it.
Outside, Davis. Loads it up for Davis. And it's slammed in by Davis.
And how about the communication between teammates on that alley-oop?
And that's what you need to pull that thing off.
Boy, both ends of that play, guys, were fantastic.
And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now here's Johnson. Adams finds Anderson. To the middle, here's Johnson. It's rebounded by Houston. The drive by Green. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. Feeds to Johnson. Oh, and the jam by Johnson.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with two hands on that stuff.
Yeah, highly efficient. Nothing extra special there. Just effective. And that's how you move the basketball. Awesome passing leading to the bucket.
Shumpert with the steal. From the baseline. No good from Clark. Hawks have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Davis. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. One of those ongoing discussions about adding a fourth referee, Clark. Would that help us, you think, call the game more accurately?
No, it would just crowd the court more.
Right.
I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? There's a human element to everything we do. Calls are going to be missed. We've grown and gotten better and highlighting different aspects of calls.
Take a break.
Being more transparent about it.
2 shots.
The video replay, I think, has been more good than bad in the game. There are going to be mistakes. You make them. I make them. The referees make them. Coaches make them. Players make them. We can't totally eliminate the human element of the game. A fourth official would not add to the ability to get more calls right. They're getting 94, 95% of them right now. You think another official is going to move the needle? Come on.
And the Rockets making a change here. House is checked in. He's off on the second, but they get it back. Here's Davis. That one falls, coming off the Johnson feet. Davis has got 7 points here in this quarter.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
No doubt about it, Greg. I mean, the game comes so naturally to him, easily. I mean, helping to expand their lead as they try to close this one out. He's doing it.
That's his second personal foul.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Anderson can't get it to go. For Houston, they've gone 6 of 8 from the field in the fourth so far. It's been
Goodness. Talk about bringing the heat, the thunder, and the lightning on that pound.
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure.
Yes, indeed. Let's just call him ladder climber.
Okay. It's rebounded by Hartenstein. Rockets have gone 7 of 9 from the field down the stretch here in the fourth quarter. Terrific shooting. Green, no luck.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
They grabbed their own miss. Dedmon's shot is off. Houston in total control. Here's House, and he drops it in from the low post. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Anderson kicks to Johnson. It's rebounded by Hartenstein. Hartenstein's got 4 rebounds now tonight. The shot by House is no good. Atlanta's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. That's tipped. Pass to Davis. That one goes in. Davis has got 9 points here in the second half. Now a timeout called by Houston. We're hearing more players and coaches express their political beliefs. their social concerns, trying to, in a positive way, affect change, Clark.
And Kevin, I applaud it, respect it, admire it, and can't get enough of it. As long as players and coaches are well informed about that which they talk about, and most of the NBA guys are. And I think it's important that wherever we are in life that we use our platforms to express our views. That's part of what being a citizen of this country is about. So I don't think you necessarily compartmentalize your life. If there are issues that are dear to you, that you want to speak out on and educate yourself about, then you use your platform for that purpose while performing your job, which just happens to be playing NBA basketball or coaching NBA basketball.
For Houston, they've gotten exactly 2/3 of their shots to find the bottom of the net here in the fourth, 8 of 12. And finished off by Shumpert.
Oh, and how about squeezing the orange as tight as he could there before the stuff?
Yeah, no way he's going to lose that thing on the way up.
Better safe than sorry, right?
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Anderson outside. No one near him. Atlanta gets it back. Dedmon passes to Johnson. Adams wide open. It's good with the assist that time from Johnson.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
And Davis sends it back. Anderson kicks to Johnson. It's stolen by Green. And it's Houston on the break. Shoots from the baseline. Goes back up. And it's good on the lay-in. Green's got 8 points in the quarter.
And you can see how this game is going. I mean, put a body on somebody.
Exactly, man. Come on. You got to be physical down there. There's got to be some intensity and some physicality on the board.
Now here's Anderson from deep. It's rebounded by Houston. Shumpert's got his 5th rebound in this one.
Nothing dropping for him, so I think in the best interest of his team, he may need to think about not shooting right now. Hey, and when guys at this level are that close to the basket, they ain't missing. I mean, especially when there's no defense in the neighborhood.
They double him with Green. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And then Johnson with the jam.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
Yeah, he imposed his will on the defense that time. He was not going to be denied right there.
May have been the 90s, Clark, when we saw the pick and roll really become a common type play. Defenses have now adjusted somewhat, but many offenses still rely on it now.
Man, you go way back to the 50s and 60s. The pick and roll has been one of the hardest plays to defend since really basketball came into existence, quite honestly. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And now, with the interchangeable parts that many teams have, you have the real challenge of small guys setting screens on big guys and creating havoc. So screen and roll action, always a very important part of the game and a hard set to cover well on defense.
Off the inbound, and Green with the lay-in. Green's got 10 points here in the second half.
And he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
Here's Anderson. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
Man, gotta like the confidence of Anderson inside, showing excellent patience and a nice soft touch near the rim.
Anderson against Green. That shot, no good. Atlanta's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first.
And they are making it look easy at the free throw line here in the second half.
And both free throws good for Anderson. Clark, if you were a general manager, and I think you'd make an outstanding one, during the pre-draft process in particular, a player has declined to work out for you. Would you still consider drafting him?
Yeah, I would consider it. And again, there would be some extenuating circumstances. Why has he declined? What have we seen? Obviously, I'm hopeful that my scouting staff has taken a look at him, and I've seen the kid up close and in person and done my due diligence, so I've got a comfort level with who he is and what he can become. But I don't think the declining of a workout is enough reason to just dismiss a prospect that you like.
Here's Adams after the made shot from Amon Shumpert. Left side, Anderson. He kicks to Davis. Dishes it to Adams. Over Shumpert. Atlanta again missing. And so Nene will bring it up for the Rockets. Here's Green. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got 4 rebounds in this game. Anderson dishes to Prince. Shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2.
And really, all credit to the pass there. I mean, he angled it just right. Set up the basket beautifully.
No good from Clark. The Hawks shooting about 43% here in the fourth quarter. Adams against Shumpert. Adams outside. And here's Prince outside. No good there. And the Rockets take it the other way. Unloads from 13. And that one's good by Clark. Clark's got 12 points here in the second half.
He's definitely turned things around in this game. I mean, he was more of a background player in the first half. He's jumped center stage now.
To the inside, Davis, and finished off by Davis.
You gotta love his aggressiveness to finish inside.
Well, his leaping ability gives him a great advantage.
Fellas, that's exactly why they look to get him the ball around the rim. I mean, it's either a dunk or free throws every time.
And Atlanta has possession. And here is Adams. Kicks to Anderson. Down low. That's good from Johnson on the assist by Anderson. 7 points for Johnson.
Excellent awareness there, zipping the ball over to the perfect spot to score.
House, and plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And there's the foul. This goes against Atlanta. You know, there's always this debate, Clark. Could the best teams 20 years ago beat the best teams of today?
I think there would be some compelling matchups, and I think you would find winners on both sides from different eras. I really do. It's hard to compare just because of the difference in eras and periods, but really good championship teams typically could handle most teams in the current era. I believe that in all sports. So compelling matchups, and I do think some teams from a couple of decades ago could handle some of the teams that we see winning championships now.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Dwayne Dedmon comes in for Deontay Davis, and it's Bembry in for Anderson. And a switch here also for Houston. Rivers checked in. Atlanta's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 3-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. Bembry the pass to Adams. And here's Prince outside. It's rebounded by Houston. Here's Shumpert. Here's Green. And the layup is good. Green's got 12 points here in the second half.
He has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Trickeration. I like that, partner. That's pretty strong word creation. And you've got to be creative, though, whether you're commentating or hooping, especially when you're going inside.
Offensive rebound. Bembry kicks to Prince. And there's the foul. It's on Dwayne Dedmon. That is his first foul of the game. The Hawks making a switch here. Davis is checked in. Clark, he's checked in for the Rockets.
Clark.
They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, Sade comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator. And he found the soft spot in the D on that possession.
Inside. And again, And another assist.
That makes 15 assists.
He's been one step ahead of the defense all game long. Here's Green. Rebound by the Hawks. Davis has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Pass to Johnson. And the slam dunk by Johnson.
And a hard finish there, guys.
Yeah, and only one hand needed for that one.
Sometimes that's all you need.
And Davis sends it back.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Rockets.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And so checking out their season record, this game will become their 45th win.
And that's going to do it for the season series between these two teams. It's clear who had the better game plan and better execution, and that's why they'll finish up 2-0 against the Hawks.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for James Harden.
Boy, it was nice seeing him do his thing on offense, wasn't it? Turned it up a notch and flat out pulverized the defense.
.58 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Adams offline with his 3. Houston in total control. The drive by Shumpert. They get a hand on it, so another turnover for Houston. Fast break, the Hawks. Here's Johnson. Make it 5 for 10 with him in that bucket.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
Count that one.
Tremendous effort here on the road. That plane ride home is going to be sweet.
No doubt about it, partner. But unfortunately, the flip side of that coin, the drive home for the hometown fans, going to be rather flat.
Adams' shot is off.
Timeout.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're leading. 23 seconds left to play in the final quarter. What's your take, guys?
You know, this is a timeout maybe just so they can pat each other on the back because no other reason to call it.
Well, they're really just being conservative, making sure they don't make any last-minute mistakes, I guess. I mean, I have no idea. No idea.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, James Harden.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special. Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Adams. Here's Johnson, and he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim.
Johnson.
And the Rockets with possession here. The drive by... Whoa!
Hey, watch out now. Watch out.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
And, you know, this is what's needed at this point in the game, Greg. The great teams know how to close it out.
So we see Houston taking the W here. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much with Chris Paul. Chris, a very convincing win, and that doesn't happen often in this league. So what do you take from this?
You know, one thing that our coaching staff keeps stressing to us every night is that it's about us. You know, so regardless of score, we got to continue to try to get better because we impose our will on the defensive end. The sky's the limit.
Well, the focus was there tonight, Chris. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you next time.